Not a parade, anything today. I see we have a few more people here today. As I said yesterday, tough day for us. I've been in here a few times where we've been coming off of a loss, but a few times it's been a loss where didn't feel like we really had a chance. Had a chance, but they were definitely a better team that day. And that was definitely the case yesterday. Offensively, it's tough when you can't get anything going. Third downs, we want to run the football. When you can't run the football, of course, that's tough. But passing game, all the different things that happened that led to that. We didn't play well up front, as I said yesterday. And nothing really got going. Defensively, I know it doesn't probably look that way, but we did a few good things. Third downs, we didn't take the ball away. In a game like that, takeaways would have helped a lot. Thought we played the run better. Guys played hard. Did some things to at least keep us in the game against a Washington team that's, at the time had beaten the only undefeated football team in football. So kind of realized where we are. Like we normally do, we have been watching the videos since then. The players aren't in today, so they'll come in tomorrow. We'll kind of let them know what we're going to do going forward. Take your question.
Have you, after a day of watching the film, have you decided to make any changes in coaching or quarterbacks or any of that? As I said, the players come in tomorrow. So have I watched the video a few different times? Yeah, and made some decisions on how we're going to go forward. But you can probably understand if, like all changes and anything that we do from week to week, you kind of talk to the players first before we talk to you. So we're not pleased with where we are. And do we need to do some things differently? Yes, and we will.
What have you seen from Tua in the 4 games since he's been back from injury?
First, what I know about him, just from, being in the college game and all of that, he's an accurate thrower, more athletic than people probably want to give him credit for, and that's how he's played since he's come back. It seemed like forever that he went through that injury, because right now he's running an offense that's running on all cylinders. Of course, wide receiver-wise, they have a special player. They have a few special players, really. But what I saw from watching the video right away is their commitment to the run, too. And I assume I would see more 11 personnel groupings, but, that's not the case. There's a little bit more 21 and some run personnel groupings.
So how do you think that some of your rookies are starting to hit the rookie wall?
Well, that rookie wall, that's kind of, it's kind of like sources say a little bit. You're trying to figure out exactly what it is. But it's a long season, and they played a lot of games, count the preseason games. So their bodies are probably feeling like, the season is over. And especially for some of the interior guy like Kenyon Green, of pounding every time. But I know our young players, if they have, they're coming to work. This is their day off, but a lot of them are here going through the rehab of getting your body ready to go another week. And there's rookie mistakes that we're going through with them that you expect from rookies. But if they have, I can't notice it.
Lovie, you mentioned changes. Understandably, you want to talk to the team first if you're going to do anything. But do you believe a team sometimes needs a change for a spark mid-season, for a spark, or to, I'm not saying the locker room's not inspired, but to reach out to the players just to kind of change things up, not for the sake of change, but because sometimes a team really does need to maybe feel things a little differently?
I think a team does. When you've lost as many games as we have, you're searching for ways and things that may get the best out of maybe that person or just the team in general. No, I think there's a place for that, and whether it's a spark or not. And what we look at is that, okay, if the effort isn't what you want it to be, we look to see if there's a better option. And
sometimes, I mean, we look to that bet option a little bit earlier than others. Position-wise, we look to that option maybe a little bit quicker than others, but that's a part of the process that you go through. And where we are in our, we're in the second half of the season now. It's a little bit different now. We should know about, what's been put on video is probably who we are now. I acknowledge that.
You mentioned yesterday that it would be hard for most quarterbacks to play well with the pressure. What's your evaluation, given that still, of how Davis performed and where he is right now at this point of the season?
Well, I have watched that video a few times, for sure. The players haven't come in, but I'm sure they have too. And what I said yesterday, I'm saying right now. I say it's tough for any quarterback. It would have been, any quarterback, it would have been tough for them to perform with some of the pressure that we got. Not always, though. So as I look to what happened yesterday, first off, the players are in, but we as as coaches, we're evaluating what we're doing, plays we're calling, all of that. But for the quarterback, for us to have success passing the football, it does start up front with protection, feeling that comfort to be able to maybe go through your progression of your reads. Most of the day yesterday, that wasn't the case. And I'm going to say that that's been the case for a few weeks. A little that you have to give the credit where it's due too, and that's with the teams that we're playing. They've been very strong inside. Hopefully that won't continue throughout the rest of the year.
Coach, when you take a look at Kenyon Green, how do you go about going through the film with him for a teaching moment so he won't get too down on himself after the game?
Well, what we do, it's big boy business a little bit too. What we do, good or bad, we go through everything that has been done, in the previous game, and that's what we're going to do with Kenyon. Believe me, there's been a lot of learning moments that we've gone through with him. But a part of taking that next step is to go through some of those days when the guy that's playing against you may be better than you right now. But you learn, and you just hope you just get better and better. And what we're going to do, if that player, whoever it is, Kenyon, whoever, is who we think is our best option, we got to let them get their nose bloodied a little bit and keep going and try to get them better.
Coach, when it's time to make a change, a player change, are you the one that makes the sole decision on it, or do you have to consult with Nick Caserio as well?
No, Nick handles an awful lot for our group, but we as coaches kind of take care of those things. And if there's a change going on, player-wise, our process, I'm going to talk to the position coach, I'm going to talk to the coordinator, and normally the three of us will. If there's any major decisions that are being done, we'll let everybody, of course, Nick and everybody else will know, of course. Cal and everybody else will know exactly what we're doing. We're communicating constantly with what we're doing with our football team.
What do you say to a guy like Kenyon? I know you said it's growing. We've talked about it before. Some growth spurts he had to go through, being a rookie, especially in that interior position, to make sure that he, even though it's a big boy game, doesn't get, I don't want to say overwhelmed, but down, because from where he came this time last year, how he was performing, and now he is now. How do you handle that with him?
I think all rookies, they go through it. They come into the league, and most of the time they're not going to jump right into the league and be the most dominant player. That's just a part of the progression of becoming a good NFL player. Kenyon realizes that. But what we're going to do is the things he's doing wrong, we're going to keep coaching him up, getting his technique better, to give himself a chance to have more success. You start with that. But we're all disappointed, but it's not like, somebody's ready to pack their bags, based on, and I'm going to say based on, like yesterday's performance was really bad. It hadn't been that way throughout. As I've said, there are two teams that I felt have dominated us and were definitely better than us that day. The rest of the time, that hadn't been the case. So we've had our moments, and moments where we haven't played well, but they all go together. And there's been more positive moments. The scoreboard hadn't said that. But if you just talk individually, that's not the case.
Is that point something that you have to remind your team of? Like, as bad as yesterday was, it was one game and we got to move on?
Well, that's what I'm constantly doing. I understand where we are record-wise. That's what it is. But we talk about building and growing. We're a young team. You have to go through some growing pains. You have to fight through adversity. It's what you have to. There's no shortcut. And we're not taking that. We're definitely not taking that. We're going through it. But we do see improvement.
You've talked about. Sorry, go ahead.
You've defended, Pep and the rest of your coaching staff as you've been asked questions. Do you feel like the coaching staff, you and the rest of you guys, have been given enough talent this season to have success? Much success?
As I look at our success and, Jonathan, what's happening with us right now, when we haven't gotten the job done, I don't think we're not where we need to be in all those areas. First, start coaching-wise. Are we going to do a better job, and do we need to do a better job coaching? Absolutely. Player-wise, do we need to play better? Could we use more talent? Yeah, I think it's yes to all of those things. I think we all realize that too, though. That's just a part of it too. But I still go back to how the season has turned on where we are. Have we had opportunities to win more games so far in the first half of the season? Yes, we have. With the personnel, with the coaches that we have. And I just still feel like we're going to get a chance to prove exactly that we have made progress with the teams that we have coming up the second half of the season.
Coach, when you're looking at and with the team that you have, the players that you have, Nick Casero's talked about the balance between process-oriented and results-oriented. How much is the process part of your daily decisions, including quarterback, other positions? How much is that part of it?
It's a big part of it on what we're going through. I mean, as I talk about the process and even the guys that we're playing, there's no – you're always planning for the future by playing good right now. So that's all a part of what we're trying to do. It's not like we're just – if you're an older player, we're not playing you, we're going to play all the younger players. That hadn't been the case. And every time I've been asked that's just not how it is. There's young players playing right now that's part of the process because we think it gives us our best option right now. And it's kind of simple as that. And again, what we're going to do tomorrow, there's a lot of things we need to clean up. Even though that team was better than us, there's a lot of things we did that we shouldn't be doing right now, and that can be corrected. And that's where we're going to go back to work to get that done. And hopefully some of those other areas, those other games, efforts, and I've never talked about effort. The effort is always there. Will be good enough for us to put a better product on the football field next time out.
Coach, you just kind of alluded to it. When you take the season in totality and you look back at where this team was at the beginning of the season, self-evaluation, you just mentioned that you're always kind of looking to improve something. What are some things specifically that you feel like this team does now better than they did before the season started? I
think it's pretty hard to just say we do this, that, because it's so many things you have to choose from. And from where we started, any area I think that you asked me, I think we've gotten a little bit better. But it's not just getting better. It's about getting better enough to win. And that's where we haven't made it right now. We know a lot more about our football team right now, just offensively, running the football. Have we gotten better? Yeah, I think from the first game to where we've been, again, disregarding yesterday, I think as you look at a lot of the different things on our passing game offensively, I mean, we brought the tight end into it. I think we've gotten, we're throwing the ball, we're moving around an awful lot. Defensively, I think we played the run about as well as they averaged less than 4 yards yesterday. We only gave up, I think, 5 explosives yesterday, and we've been giving up a lot more. So I think the team has gotten better in a lot of different areas, just not enough. I'm sorry? Kyle Allen. Yes.
What have you seen from him in practice? What do you guys think in general his quarterback?
Well, I think what we've seen in practice, in practice, I think most NFL teams, the guy that's in the backup role doesn't get a lot of reps. But what the backup does is he goes against the number one defense the majority of the time. So Kyle can make all of the throws. He has a history of good play in the NFL. And, again, he's a veteran that's been in this situation. He gets rid of the ball quickly. There's a lot of things to like about what Kyle has done. And when he played in the preseason with the limited amount of time that he had, thought he did a pretty good job.
Coach, in regards to your comments just now on Kyle Allen, when you look at Davis Mills and what he's done this season, I think you reiterated last week your confidence in Mills. What specifically has he shown you that you see in him that gives you the confidence that he's the best guy to give you a chance to win every week?
I mean that's a question I'm asked quite a bit, and I don't quite know how to answer it anymore, except for I think he's grown too since the early part. But it's pretty hard when you talk about how much someone has grown after yesterday. So what I'm going to say, yesterday, you just look at the game from the quarterback play. We didn't play as well as we needed to in the first half. Second half, I think we started, had a drive going down there, couldn't cash in on it, and that's kind of been our season so far. There's been some rough spots, but there's been some moments where we've shown a lot of promise, but we just hadn't quite made it to the promised land yet.
Coach,
yes, sir.
Week of Thanksgiving, what are you thankful for?
What am I thankful for? I mean, there's so many things. You know, when you're a 64-year-old guy that's been just kind of hanging around as long as I have with a family that you love, that's been blessed beyond your wildest imagination. What I get a chance to do for a living. There are so many things. I think one thing to be thankful for, to just be here to be thankful for something. And so that's what it is. Thanksgiving is a special time, special week. Just looking forward to making it to that Thanksgiving and enjoying another day.
Well, what sort of stress does Waddle and Hill, what do they put on their defense on second?
So much for that Thanksgiving and all the good things that we're thinking about coming up. Special players. This past wide receiver group that we played, you know, Derek Stingley didn't play, so we're down our one corner going into the game. I thought Steve Nelson and Des King did some good things. We were really high on that receiving core that we played yesterday. This receiving core that we have coming up right now, we have a player in that one position, Tyreek Hill. That's his name, right? Tyreek Hill? Yeah, we all know his name. What he does, and Miami does a great job with their offense too, because there's still a commitment to the run, and you have to play their wide receivers a certain way. No one has been able to solve that problem yet. And we're excited when you play a game like we played yesterday. You're excited about playing a great team like Miami to see if that can make your game, see if that can make you up your game a little bit more. Look forward to it.
Do you anticipate Stingley getting back into the fold in practice this week?
You know, he has a hamstring injury. So, you know, with a hamstring injury, you know, the different degrees of hamstring injuries that I've had and seen, he has a mild hamstring injury. What does that mean? I don't really know what it means either. But it kept him out of the game yesterday. I don't know exactly when he'll be back. Hopefully sooner than later. Thank you.
Thank you.